Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create the content calendar based on the goals, objectives, and content strategy that you've already defined in the strategic brief in part 2. So this video was based on the request of trying to see how that relates to your project. So I'm going to go back to the same example that we used in the class and show you the content calendar of that specific case. And I'll share the links to both the case and the content calendar so you can easily relate to it. So you should have this table already, and I've given you feedback on how to change it so that it's correct. So given that you have the following goals, goal 1, 2, and 3, and that you have the following objectives for each goal, and the content strategy for the goals as well, how are you going to create the content calendar? So let's take a look at goal number 1. Goal number 1 says that you want to increase awareness of COVID-19 vaccine administration stations, and that you have, based on this goal, you have 2 objectives: to increase in the number of followers by 10% over the next month, and increase the number of impressions by 20% by the next month. Impressions is the number of people who get to see that specific post. So the content strategy will be that you want information about the new stations for administering the vaccine, because you want to increase awareness, so you need to provide them with information about those new stations. Okay. With the content calendar, we don't need to go to the tactics. Those are for you to figure out what you need to do when you're executing that strategy, but we don't need it for the content calendar. But we need it only to figure out something. Over here, post every 2 days to the Twitter account. So we know that we're going to post this information to the Twitter account every 2 days. So if we go back here, and this is a content calendar that has been created, that's a full content calendar. You'll find that all of the posts for the content calendar are in red over here for the goal number 1. So you see goal number 1, goal number 1, goal number 1 in front of all of these over here. Let me try to zoom a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we're going to create for goal number 1, because they said post every 2 days, and this is going to be for 2 weeks. So that means that we have over 14 days, that will be approximately 7 posts. And if you look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that actually equates to 7 posts. So I've actually taken group 3's content calendar and just adjusted it a little bit because they did a really good job on it. So this tells basically whoever is going to be doing the execution of that strategy that on March 10th, they need to post to Twitter, and that post concerns goal number 1, objective number 1. So if we go back, objective number 1 is increasing the number of followers by 10% over the next month, and goal number 1 is to increase awareness. And as I said, I put them in red so that you know which they correspond to which goals and objectives. And who is the audience? People looking into taking the COVID-19 vaccine. What is the strategy? Remember, the strategy is taken from here as well. Information about the new stations for administering the vaccine, because that's the content strategy for goal number 1, is that information about that. What is the keyword or topic that maybe the consumers might be searching for when they may be on Twitter? Benefits of COVID-19 vaccine, risks of COVID-19 vaccine, COVID-19, or COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, so these are good ones. And what is the title of that specific post? Hopefully you will have a more, I guess, extensive title. So instead of saying vaccine stations, you might say new vaccine stations in Florida. So what is the title of that post? So if you go on Twitter, what is the exact title that you'll find for that specific post? And then the content of the post. So for example, look, here are new stations for the COVID-19 vaccine. So what will be mentioned exactly in that post? So whoever is doing the social media strategy of that specific organization knows what they're going to do over a specific period of time. So you're basically detailing each post and the objectives, campaigns, and content strategy that it relates to. So because you have to put those ahead of time so that you don't forget what you're going to do 1 or 2 weeks down the road. Okay, I hope that clarifies more what is meant by the content calendar. I'll just go back again and show you. So for, let's say, goal number 2, they should post weekly. So if you're doing it over 2 weeks and posting weekly, so you'll find that there are going to be 2 entries for this. That's why we have one on March 14th and one on March 21st. If you go to goal number 3, you'll find that you have a link every 2 days. So basically, you'll find that there are also 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, seems like it's fine. 8, 7, but the idea is every 2 days. There might be a duplicate somewhere over here, or that they started maybe a bit earlier, or that they should stop at March 23rd. But anyway, this is exactly what a content calendar should look like. I hope that clarifies what is required.